Hi Cancer, I'm going to be doing a self-love tarot spread. These are general messages, so they might not resonate with everybody, but I'm going to do them weekly, so if you come back next week, you might find something a little more your speed. I'd really like to get more comfortable with this particular spread, so I am giving away like 50 of these free self-love readings. If you'd like to email me, my email box or my email address is in the box below. I do a 6-card spread, and then the 7th card I use as your spirit message, and then to clarify, I use the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck. I did shuffle a little bit before we got started, but another 1 or 2 can't hurt, right, Cancer? Nope, can't hurt at all. Let's see what you got. Okay. So our first card is going to be how you yourself feel right now or see yourself. The second card is going to be something you need to prioritize, maybe a need of yours. And the third card is going to be an area where we are currently letting ourselves down, and we want to work on that because this is about self-love and building yourself up, right? The fourth card is going to be a way that you can be more authentic to yourself or other people around you, just letting them see who you really are, or let your authenticity out. The 5th card is going to be something you need to let go of, pretty simple, and the 6th card is something you need to acknowledge, and the 7th card, like I said, is going to be the, sorry, that's the cat, Zuko. The 7th card is going to be your spirit message. Okay, so we can go ahead and get started. In this, how you're feeling, Cancer, in this position, you got the Queen of Pentacles. Now, I know what the Queen of Pentacles traditionally means, but this card doesn't represent her the right way. Well, not right way, but just doesn't represent her the traditional way. And so before I make any decisions on this, Cancer, I can tell you what she means, but here she's so lonely, right? She's just sitting by herself. I mean, she has that ram, but she's in the desert. Are you feeling all lonely, Cancer? Just by yourself, maybe? That's okay sometimes to be by ourselves. Zuko, stop. Sorry, the cat. Okay. Something you need to prioritize. I don't believe that this is saying you need to prioritize oppression. But if you have feelings of being oppressed, Cancer, then that's something you definitely need to take time and look at it and decide if that's right for you, because I would think oppression would be right for no one. So we'll continue to look at that. I'm just a little concerned because now we have 2 ladies alone in the desert. So Cancer, I'm wondering what's up with you, okay? Didn't mean to make like a sad noise. Everything's fine, Cancer, don't worry about it. I'm sure that's what you tell people, right? When they're like, oh, Cancer, how are you? And you're like, really, this lady who's alone in the desert? You're like, it's fine. It's fine. So in this area where we know that we are letting ourselves down, and if we continue to work harder, we can build that part of ourselves up, which helps with our self-love. We have the 6 of Swords. The 6 of Swords, and it says science. Now, I'm trying really hard to remember the 6 of Swords in the traditional tarot because I know the 7 is betrayal, right? So the 6 is probably not betrayal, but I don't necessarily get the sense of like science out of this. I get the sense of like choosing, right? In today's society, we have Google and Alexa. If I say her name too loud, she'll turn on. But we have all these opportunities, we have all these chances, and it really just comes to narrowing those choices down. So maybe right now you aren't feeling in the best sort of situation or the best sort of mood, Cancer. But what I'm getting from this this last card is something that you need to prioritize or something you need to focus on. Somewhere you realize that you are letting yourself down a little bit. Cancer, so what I'm seeing here is that you might have options or choices that you're not necessarily looking at, or that you are looking at, but you're not really taking steps. Well, if you feel oppressed and you're just carrying all these 10s of wands, Tens also include or like indicate some kind of completion. So maybe you went through this period where you did feel alone, and that loneliness made you feel oppressed or held back in some kind of way, and now you're in this area where you are looking at options to move away from that. I'd be very happy for you, Cancer. In I don't usually read reversals, but in the position of the fourth card, a way that you can acknowledge your most authentic self, Cancer, is this, Seven of Wands. Up at the top it says Valor. Valor is kind of like bravery, right? It's not necessarily the willingness to do the right thing, it's the willingness to put yourself in danger to do the right thing. Like a knight. Aww, Cancer. I really like this energy. Okay, so this didn't look very good to start, but this is looking better. So Spirit is telling you right now, a way to showcase your most authentic self, Cancer, because I know that like people always say like, oh, you're so emotional, oh, you're a big crybaby. I'm not saying that you're not a crybaby. I'm a Pisces, I'm a crybaby too. Cried yesterday for like 30 minutes. Feels good. Anyway, but people say we're really emotional, right? Water signs. But what this is telling me is that you can still be emotional. You just have to be willing to let that emotion out. Let other people see that you're willing to fight for whatever it is to get away from this oppression, to get away from this Queen of Pentacles, this loneliness energy, that you are going to come up with all these options. Super options you have, and you're going to do the research, you're going to put the time and effort into figuring it out, and you're going to come up with the best solution for yourself. But you need to show people that, because if somebody's taking advantage of you, Cancer, if somebody's making you feel oppressed, fight a bitch. I mean, well, yeah, do it. I'm not condoning violence, but like, if it's you or them, right? If they're standing in the way of you getting to you, I don't really like that idea, so I would just go through whatever's in my way. You know, there's a lot of wands and a lot of sword energy right now, and that's that passion. You have to push, you have to strive, you have to try it for yourself, you have to do it, right? In this area of something you need to let go of. Wow. So Cancer, yeah. Thing you need to let go of, Cancer, is justice. And I would never usually tell you to not wait for justice or to not want it, right? But I feel like in this situation, you might be thinking that you're gonna need to get justice to move on, or that you really want justice. Sometimes people hurt us. It's not necessarily justice that we want. It could be revenge. But, you know, we want to make them suffer too. We want to hurt them back in the same way that they've hurt us. But that's not self-love. That's not love in any kind of form at all, actually. So the best thing that we can do when we're leaving a negative situation is just to move on our own. You have this lovely Queen of Pentacles. So I know, Cancer, that you have the ability to be self-nurturing and to nurture those around you. But right now she's in the desert. Now, what I was going to say earlier was traditionally, the Queen of Pentacles is my nurturing energy. She's kind of like my mom before you get to the Empress, right? Because in traditional tarot, she takes this pentacle and she nurtures it and she loves it so much so that it builds her an entire kingdom. So Cancer, I don't feel like right now you are in this position where you feel like you can nurture whatever's around you. That's what I was going to say. And the reason for that is this feeling of being oppressed, held back. What's holding you back? You have options to get away from those things, whatever's holding you back. And you need to take brave steps, okay? Be willing to put yourself, not necessarily in harm's way, but, I mean, again, Cancer, if it's between you and somebody standing in front of the door, or between you and somebody standing in between you and yourself, or you and your children, or your relationship with someone else, you gotta get rid of that. You just gotta get rid of it. And I know it's not a good analogy because I wouldn't want to I don't know. I'll just go with it, okay? So I play Call of Duty, which I think we've talked about before, but I'm not really sure. But I play a lot of Call of Duty on the Xbox 360, so it's the old one. And we play the zombies, right? Because, I don't know, it's kind of scary and exhilarating and fun at the same time. But sometimes, Cancer, I'm upstairs, and there's 2 staircases leading down. And zombies are coming at me from both staircases. It's me versus them, right? It's a game, of course, but in real life, it's more serious than that. So I hope that if it is serious Cancer, that you're protecting yourself and you're getting yourself away from situations that are like physically dangerous. When both zombies are coming at me from both sets of stairs, I have to make that decision for myself. Am I going to fight my way down? What if I'm all out of ammo? You're gonna have to get past whatever's in front of you, because it's that thing that's holding you back. I do sometimes get hit in the process of running down the stairs. I mean, everything is hard, right? Being in a hard situation is hard. Leaving a hard situation is hard. You just have to choose your hard, Cancer. It's something you need to acknowledge. The 10 of Pentacles. Wealth. I've never even seen this card in the deck. Look how nice. The 10 of Pentacles. Wealth. So there's not actually pentacles in the picture. They're kind of like the bulbs. I don't know if you can see it. They're kind of like the bulbs that are growing on the tree, right? So they are going to produce branches or maybe even fruit, right? Well, the branches are already there, but there are going to be more branches because trees are like that, and then there's going to be fruit. The thing I like about these cards is that Pentacles isn't actually represented by money. It's more about this sense of like grounding and stability. So what would you rather have? Would you rather go to the store and buy fruits, or would you rather have a tree that bears fruit for you again and again and again, right? I feel like this is telling us, Cancer, that not only is growth coming from this situation, but prosperity in the long run. Because if you can stand up for yourself now, chances are these patterns, these cycles, whatever's happening to you won't repeat itself, right? Because it's only when we allow things to continue that things continue. But when we put our foot down and we finally say, hey, I don't like it, then the next time around, wherever we are or whoever we're with, we can see those red flags earlier and say, hey, I don't like this. This is not for me. So I feel, Cancer, that you were either now in this position or you're coming out of this position. What I want you to understand and what Spirit wants you to know in like terms of self-love is that you can take all of this experience, you can take all of this information that you've learned about the kind of person that you were with or the kind of situation you were in, and put that into the future where you avoid those situations. Okay? Because Spirit wants you to know, okay, Spirit wants you to know, Cancer, that it's on your side with these 8 of Swords, but there is interference, okay? Something is holding you back. That's so wild. Wow, Cancer. What's going on with you? Something really is holding you back. Traditionally, the 8 of Wands, or 8 of Swords in the tarot deck is it's her holding herself back, right? She's got herself bound, and then her eyes are covered. But here, this is something that's outside of yourself. So we have the oppression, remember? The 10 of Wands. She's carrying that big bundle. It's an oppression. Cancer. I hope that you're physically safe. I hope that I wouldn't be doing this reading for someone who's like, oh my God, somebody's hitting me and I don't know if I should stay or not. No, never. Regardless of the mistakes that we make in our life, regardless, we don't deserve to live in fear or walk on eggshells. No one has the right to hit us or hurt us or hold us back, really. There are a lot of ways to be abusive. Physical abuse, mental abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse. It doesn't have to be somebody hitting you. It could just be somebody telling you all the time how stupid and useless you are. Well, first off, you're not stupid and you're not useless. We all have purpose. So if someone ever tells you that, you know, if somebody ever tells you, oh, you're so useless. Okay, well, first off, sir, I'm really good at a lot of things. And second off, I have purpose. And you saying all of that about me makes me realize you don't know me. If someone doesn't know you, Cancer, then what is their opinion worth? Not very much. And trust me, you can be with somebody for a very long time. You can know somebody for a really long time and still not have them know you. Because what they know about you is what you can give to them, what you can do for them, your abilities, right? But they don't know you, what pushes you, what makes you tick, why you actually act the way that you do. No one knows these things about you. If somebody is holding you back, you need to ask yourself who that person is and why you continue to allow someone else to make these decisions for you. Because that is how we live an authentic life, right? Because authenticity means like being truthful, right? Being true to who you are. And if you are living a life where you are not living for yourself, but you're living for someone else, or you are constantly not able to do the things you want to do, and all you're doing is what they want you to do, that's not authentic to yourself. And the whole thing about self-love is being more authentic. So Cancer, right now, I see this energy where you are being held back by somebody or some situation. You have to let go of this idea that justice is going to come. No one's going to come and save you, especially if you never ask for help. Especially if you never ask for help. I've had so many friends who are in like bad relationships and they're like, why doesn't anybody help me? Well, sweetheart, you make your choices, you know? Like I could come to your house, I could get all your stuff, I could put it in my car, but if you won't leave with me, no one can help you. So justice in this situation, I don't necessarily think that things are going to get better. This is a work environment. Let's say that you recently got into a job, or whatever, not recently, it doesn't have to be, and they're like, oh, but we're all family here. And now you find that by family, they mean super passive aggressive. They don't talk about the issues that have come up. No one tells you when you've done something wrong, but they like to go to your boss and tell you that you've done something wrong. And now there's all of this work that no one is really helping you with. You're just by yourself on all these projects. Is this an environment you want to stay in? Will the situation get better? Spirit is saying no. Spirit is saying you have to let go of this idea that justice is going to help you in the situation. What's going to help you in this situation is yourself. Okay, let's clarify. If I seem upset, Cancer, it's because I don't like the idea of people taking advantage of other people. It makes me mad. We should take care of each other. That's what we should do. Okay, so for this Queen of Pentacles, it's about letting go. What is it that you're holding on to? What's this situation, Cancer? Ancient Wisdom popped right out. Okay, so the thing about the Ancient Wisdom, and then what I always get from that card, is that trees can be ancient, right? They can be old AF. But trees don't move, right? I mean, they do in the wind and stuff like that, but they don't get up and move around. And so a tree has to learn, by definition, its environment. It has to figure out, like as it grows, what seasons are going to be really windy. Root systems, like where can it move? How can it get the best soil that it could possibly get? Is there water somewhere nearby? Like, how are they going to survive the winter? Trees just are. They just are there all the time, right? And so they internalize all of this stuff, and then you get the rings. And the rings can actually tell you like whether there were floods, whether it was like a really dry summer. When scientists cut these things, they can tell all of this about the tree. So the tree is learning about its environment. And I feel like that's what it means by ancient wisdom, right? Just take everything in, know exactly what you're doing, and just be. But in a situation where we're being held back or repressed, then the wisdom in that would be to sit and take in your environment, right? What is really happening around you? What changes do you need to make? Luckily, you're a tree. You don't have to sit through a flood or a really dry winter. You can get up and leave at any time. I mean, oh, sorry. Maybe not being able to leave at any time, because if you're in a bad relationship, it's probably hard. You might not have anywhere else to go. But ancient wisdom, sitting with yourself, how do you feel? What can you do to change the situation? Make your plans before you do anything about it. My aunt just recently got out of like a really bad divorce. So she was like married to this guy for like 27 years. He was a narcissist, and he kept all of the money for both of them in one account. And when she wouldn't listen to him, or when she didn't do the things he wanted her to do, he would withhold the money. And so when it came time for them to get divorced, it actually took her like a year and something to just siphon off small amounts of her own money into a separate bank account, so that when she did leave, she had something to take with her. She had to withdraw in cash so that the apps wouldn't tell him that she transferred any of the money. Sorry, I just want to put these in order. But like, she left with barely anything, and he's a divorce attorney, so it's not like even she could sue him. Well, I mean, like, she could have, but she didn't really have the money for that. I understand, okay? Sometimes situations just get out of our hands. Like, we don't realize how quickly we're giving away our power until we are powerless. Okay, so for this oppression, yeah, I really feel like you're coming out of this energy. And the reason I feel like that is because the cards get better, but also because for the oppression card, this is something that you need to prioritize, getting out of this energy. There's transformation here. So I really do believe, Cancer, that not only are you getting stronger with your masculine energy, I feel like you're going to come out of this this situation, and I feel like you're going to be a different person. I mean, not different, just I feel like you will have established different boundaries and different habits that allow you to make better choices and better decisions in the future. I'm really excited about that, Cancer. That's really amazing energy. Sorry, because the masculine here, masculine energy is all about finally getting outside of yourself, okay? So feminine energy is really about how I feel, oh my gosh, and being nurturing and taking care and providing. And masculine energy is all about, I do what I want. I mean, it must be nice. We all have that balance, but I really feel like you're coming into that energy, that masculine energy, where you're going to start taking care of business. Okay. The Six of Swords is science. So we said something you need to prioritize. And I really feel like this is you doing the research. How to get yourself out of this situation, Cancer. Death. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. The situation has to come to an end. It might not be healthy. I really get the feeling that it's not healthy. Slow and steady. This isn't going to be fun, and it's not going to be easy. But the end of it, the result, you know, like the thing that happens after, what is that? The result is going to be transformational, like we saw, right? You're going to be this different person. But transformation doesn't happen overnight. Slow and steady energy. And here you see the water, the droplets. Tarot tends to use water to signify emotions. It's going to be hard, Cancer. I believe in you. I don't know if you can hear me. I believe in you. I believe in you. Okay. For the Seven of Wands, there we go. Cancer. Okay, so like I really feel this is good for you. And I feel like you're coming through. This is we said something you needed to showcase your more authentic self. So right, maybe in this, what's been happening, you kind of come off as like a pushover because this person or this situation is just kind of draining you. But remember we said something you had to acknowledge or prior to, oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Something that you needed to let out to be more authentic is this valor, this bravery to do the right thing, right? Because you can and you will, and it's going to suck and it's going to be slow and steady, but you have to do it because it's a movement into balance. I don't know if you can read it. So we see a clear night and we see this rain, which we already just said was like really emotions, right? So you have to take the good and the bad. Let's just say, Cancer, that absolutely positively nothing is really wrong. Let's say your partner or in this situation they're not mean to you. They don't hurt you. Maybe let's just say that you want to do something. Maybe you want to go on vacation and they don't want to go on vacation. Maybe they're scared of the pandemic or anything. Maybe they're just not terrible people, but maybe you're just unhappy in the situation. Maybe it's not what you thought. Maybe it's not how you thought it would be. Maybe they're not who you thought they would be. Maybe you're not who you thought you would be anymore. Okay? It's all right to let go of things. You already had that. In the very first clarification, you had that let go. Because we have to always take the good with the bad, right? So you see this beautiful clear night, and then we have all this rain. Well, rain, even though most people would prefer not to have rain, and I only like rain if my hair is not straight. Oh my gosh. But we have to take the good and the bad. And if this is just one of those bad times, well, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to be bad. Don't be worried. This is a movement into balance. This is aligning you more with your purpose or with who you are supposed to be, your most authentic self. Cancer. I'm so excited for you. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's all good. Okay? So don't worry. You're gonna be brave. You're gonna do the right thing. You're gonna draw your line, and bad things won't happen. Bad things won't happen. Okay? So we said in the situation that it might not get better. We said that there's not really going to be any justice for this. Truth. You might not ever figure out what the truth in this situation is, but you can find your own truth. This situation does not work for me. That's truth. If that's how you feel, that's the truth, right? It's your truth. For the person, they might think, oh, well, I take so much advantage of Cancer, and they make it really easy for me. I love this. That's their truth. It's going to be your boss, just thinking, oh, I don't have to worry about things if I make Cancer do it. That could be their truth. Sometimes Cancer. When things don't go our way and we have to move on from something, we really want closure, right? But sometimes we don't get closure. Kind of just how it is. If we leave a situation, sometimes we just do it because it's the best for us. And we might not ever talk to that person again. We might never get to say, hey, the things you did to me were really, the way you treated me wasn't cool. Might never ever get to say that. But and this wouldn't be a self-love tarot spread without this card, I don't think. Even if we never get that closure, even if things don't go the way that we want, even if we never speak to this person again, forgiveness is really important. Okay, so here we see that light and that dark again, that duality, right? Because there are multiple reasons to forgive. Really, there are. The reason I find the most important is because it allows me space. I may never get closure from that situation, but I can physically and emotionally move away from it by forgiving the situation, forgetting the person. So when I was really young, I myself was not great. I'm willing to admit that I wasn't. And I was in a very abusive relationship where it was probably partly my fault. No, like 50-50. I wasn't a good person. I don't take like pride in saying this, but I came from an abusive home. So to go into an abusive relationship, it didn't seem wrong to me. To be abusive in a relationship didn't seem wrong to me. And I was very young. I think I was like 17, okay? So I come out of that relationship and not at first, but kind of really slowly, I start thinking, oh, maybe I should not have hit my boyfriend. Oh my God, maybe he shouldn't have hit me. Maybe the way we talk to each other is wrong. Okay, so we can all grow and stuff, but I've never spoken to him since then. The things that he did, like, yeah, I get that I did those things. I really do. And I think in that situation, we probably brought out the total worst in each other. Just absolutely the worst. I'm not mad at him anymore because it was just something we had to go through. I'm not mad. I don't want that kind of person in my life. I've made that decision. I actively have kept track of things that I know were wrong. And then when those situations present themselves again, I say, oh, no, not that. Oh, no, not that. Oh, no, not that. So I actively avoid those situations. But I will never get closure on that situation. I mean, maybe not never. Maybe like in 20 years or something when he's old and probably in prison for beating women. That's a different story. But I'll never get closure on the situation. But it's okay because I want to move emotionally away from it. So I've actually put space between myself and that whole situation. And by forgiving the situation, forgiving myself for putting myself in that situation, because a lot of people forget that we betray ourselves when we allow shitty things to happen to us. It's sucky. But that's part of self-love, is changing those habits so we don't do those things anymore. Sorry. It's like a whole thing. Like it's a whole spider web, right? But I have accepted that things happened. I accepted my role in those positions. Whatever I did, I have forgiven myself for that because I honestly didn't know better at the time. I didn't. I've grown up and I know a lot better now, so I won't recreate those things. But I have convinced myself that, or talk to myself. We've talked about it. We've sat down. We had a whole conversation about how, like, if we had known better, we would have done differently. But because we didn't know better, we can only do what we could have done in the situation. So yes, I have forgiven myself for that. But I've also forgiven him. I mean, we were like 17, 18. Like, what did he possibly know? What could he possibly know? I don't want him in my life. Let's make that very clear. But I have forgiven him, and I believe deep down that he can change. Will he? I don't know. But I believe that he can, because all people are capable of change. And so in forgiving him and saying, okay, I understand that at the time you couldn't have done better, I allow myself to like release my emotional attachment to this whole situation and believe that things can be different in the future. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I really hope that it does, but it helps. And if you need, like, if we need to talk about a cancer, you can always email me. I'll email you back or whatever. We can Zoom. It doesn't matter, but I just wanted to tell you that story because forgiveness isn't just about forgiving the person or the situation. It's about forgiving yourself and allowing that emotional space. Because if we don't allow that emotional space, if we make no forgiveness, if we make no concessions, if we make no moves towards understanding the situation, it'll just repeat the cycle again and again and again because you didn't learn your lesson. And you'll stay enmeshed with that, right? Maybe it's not the same person, but maybe those feelings stick with you. And so in the next relationship you go into, you recognize something in that person, in the new person, that you initially drew you to the last person. And you'll think, oh, okay, so they're great, but without all this other stuff. Well, actually, it's probably all that other stuff over and over again. If we want to break the cycle, we have to learn to love ourselves. And by loving ourselves, we have to give ourselves space. If that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense. I'm trying my best, but it's difficult. I don't know your situation, and I don't know you, but I really hope that helped, okay? Because what is coming, remember we said, was this sense of stability. Okay? You won't have to go to the store and buy fruit anymore. You will have fruit. You will bear fruit from this. Honoring your energy. Look at that. You're going to learn that what you want is most important. Not what other people want, not what other people want from you. Okay? And home. This could be a situation that's happening in the home. Like it could, because of the overall energy that I'm getting. But what I'm also getting from this is that you will build a home, right? This stability, this sense of wealth that is coming to you. When you make this decision, good things are going to be on the other side of it. Okay. And then we said right now you're experiencing this interference. Spirit is telling you interference. Something has gotten in your way. Now, this could just be your perception of the situation. This could be that maybe you haven't done the research yet. Remember we talked about that? Maybe this could be that you haven't made a decision for yourself yet. But Spirit is saying something is holding you back. Oh, this feminine energy. There we go. So we did say that feminine energy was all about feelings and nurturing and providing and building, right? So maybe right now you're in this energy where you feel like, but we have a home and I'm the mom. Okay, I have to help take care. Maybe you do have a home and maybe you're not a mom, but you play mom to somebody else. We all know what that's like, right? You have to get out of this feminine energy of how you feel. Or maybe you're afraid that if you leave, they'll be sad, which is fair, but I mean, they make their own choices too. Sorry. Sucks to suck. Yeah, you have to make these changes, Cancer. You have to make these changes. They're here, they're ready. Okay, so overall, we're really past our time, sorry. Overall, what I get is this sense of you being in a position right now where you feel lonely or unhappy. You feel, and Spirit is saying that something's holding you back. But I do feel like there are options available to you if you put in the work to look into them. And this bravery that has to come, but don't stay stuck on the idea that things are going to change or there will be justice for you in this situation, because Spirit told us that there won't be. The situation will not get better. You will get better. You will gain more. You just have to come out of this inside energy. Bring that energy out. Okay, Cancer? Sorry. I hope this helps. Have a good day.